Oh, hi! This week, taking a little bit of the power back. Or at least I'm gonna try out a thing that I've never tried as an adult. Already heading into a weird direction. I'm gonna make myself an eye patch because for a little bit of backstory, I have a lazy eye. This, I can't tell until I'm watching this back, like what it's doing. I'm trying to mess with the focus of my eyes. I'm thinking about it too much, so I've never had any control over this. It was a lot worse when I was a kid. And from the ages of 5 to 9 or 10, I think, I'd wear little patches like this over my glasses and it'd cover my stronger eye. So I would try to strengthen the muscles on my weaker one to try to, rebuild my vision a little bit. I don't know the scientific terms for any of this because I am not an ophthalmologist. But I started as a legally blind kid and now I get through my life with just pretty standard glasses because the vision in this one is like, okay, I need it for reading and stuff, and as I've gotten older my vision has decreased, as happens with everyone. But this is basically a useless marble in my head. I have crap depth perception, can't do 3D movies, terrible hand-eye coordination. But when I have my glasses on, I don't know. I don't know that it is noticeable. Whenever I mention it to people that have only ever seen me with my glasses on, they're just like, I've never noticed. I have no idea what you're talking about. But if I do something like go swimming or it's raining and I take my glasses off so I can like try to dry them or whatever, or even just in that small interim, if I'm trying to clean my glasses and I have them off my face, I put all of my effort into not looking that person head on. I'll like look off to the side. I'll look at something else. I'll like try not to make eye contact. I will even just squint because the thing that happens if I'm looking at someone and I don't have my glasses on, and again, I can't tell what it's doing because it's not getting a lot of input on this side. I'm not blind on that side. It's just useless vision. Like I can tell there's something over here. I can like kind of make out that it's a hand, but I can't even confirm like how many fingers are being held up in front of me. So I can see like color and motion on this side, but I can't discern exactly what it is I'm looking at most of the time. So it's not super helpful and sometimes just kind of distracting. But anyway, when I'm trying to talk to someone, I can tell that they are trying to figure out what eye to look at. And I can never figure out with this flipped backwards or if I'm using a self-facing camera on a phone, like things are flipped backwards, so it's hard to indicate, but my right eye, that's the good one. This is the shitty little clunker over here. Ignore whatever this one's doing. But it's hard not to look at. And I know when I'm talking to someone that has a glass eye, is wall-eyed, is cross-eyed, whatever, I do the same thing because you want to try to make eye contact with someone. So typical day-to-day operations for me, like glasses take care of the problem. I don't know why. Contacts don't work. Contacts make me look like Marty Feldman and it's very distracting and everything. When I don't have them on, especially for like a prolonged period, I'm so self-conscious and I don't want to be in that scenario anymore. It happens all the time. I just want to hit the eject button because I feel like I'm making other people uncomfortable. It's making me uncomfortable. And I know that that's something I need to work on within myself, is to like, just not care. I don't know. I'm clearly trying to work through my feelings about all this because I've been tackling so many other things. For example, I finally bought myself a 2-piece bathing suit. I wore one once when I was 8 and then never wore it again. That was a huge thing to overcome. I've worn it in the pool a couple of times and it's been great. I am not thinking about how I look in it all the time now that I've adjusted to it. Because also, who gives a shit? And if someone does give a shit, I shouldn't be spending time with them in the first place. So I don't know what the end goal is with attempting this eye patch. I think it's just to give myself some other options to figure out how I'm feeling about it. But even just a week ago, I had my glasses off because they kept fogging up because it had been like really sticky and humid outside and I had done a bunch of like physical exertion and then went inside to air conditioning and they just would not stay clear. So I couldn't see with my good eye, so I just took my glasses off and I found myself like diverting where I was trying to look and just squinting this eye, which is also distracting. Like if it's a prolonged conversation, it gets sore doing that. So I think having an eye patch for certain scenarios would make me not have to think about it anymore. I don't know. They kind of look a little badass, right? Can I be a little badass and have an eye patch? Why not? Also, I do feel like I had some missed opportunity to like cosplay as a pirate and shit like that and really like lean into being Cyclops, but I just wasn't even thinking about that at the time. So I'm gonna treat my younger self with a little kindness and throw some fun into something that I'm self-conscious about. Am I gonna cry? We're not gonna cry. Okay, here's what you need. Oh wait, I do have a drink, but it's just coffee. No, it's just coffee. But here's what you need. I have a really small scrap of this 1/4 inch foam that I'm going to try to use. And then I also have this scrap double knit jersey. It's like t-shirt material, which should also be fine in the pool. And then I think for the strap, I'm just going to use some black 1/4 inch elastic. Let's try to measure out the eye section. I think I'm going to grab a marker. So I'm just going to draw out a shape and see how I feel about it. Ooh, we get a bit of a David Bowie, Lady Gaga situation happening. Maybe that's what I need to do. I feel like they wouldn't stray away from like glam eye patch stuff. That's actually a lot smaller than I thought. I'm gonna cut out like a pretty big version of this shape because I don't need it to like cover my whole cheek. I don't necessarily need it to like block out light fully, where I know that is the purpose of eye patches for some folks. And I have to tell you, it's taking a lot for me to actually look into the camera because it goes against every instinct that I have. And honestly, if you've been around long enough, if there's been times I've been doing makeup or something and I have had my glasses off, I have probably diverted my eyes away from looking straight at y'all. Okay, you can always take away, but you can't add back. So we're gonna just do this little bit by little bit. They do make thicker foam than this, I guess, if blocking the light is an issue. Though I don't think the light will be going through once I have the black fabric on it. If you don't have this, because this is a very specific type of material, it does have like sewable webbing on it, but this side is very sticky, which is, I keep putting the softer side back here. Also, maybe don't do things around your eyes when you have open scissors in your hand. The panic about the scissors derailed every other thought I had in my head just now. What was I just talking about? Oh, that instead of this foam, you could use something like quilting batting. All right, how are we feeling? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I want to go too much smaller than that. I think this is okay. That looks like an eye patch. Okay, so now I'm gonna take 2 pieces, you know, just rough squares about this size because I'll trim it all down after. Okay, so I have my 2 pieces and my foam. So I'm gonna lay the 2 pieces of fabric right sides together, and then I have the foam on one of the wrong sides. I'm gonna stitch almost all the way around. I'll leave a little gap somewhere. And can you tell I'm walking myself through this as we go? I don't know, I've never made a fucking eye patch before. Okay, so there's a little gap I left. I'm gonna go ahead and trim all of this out. And by out, I do mean down. All right, looking like a little tiny egg. So I'm gonna flip that out. Yeah, I definitely didn't leave a big enough gap. Also, yes, if you're wondering, I do have a song from Bo Burnham's Inside stuck in my head, just playing on a loop. Not the same song every day, but it is one of those songs every day. Currently, it's just that part on a loop forever. I mean, there's always something playing like that in my head, but this shit has taken over. Okay, back to the project. So flipping this, and you want to grab the 2 fabric layers, not the batting. That's going to stay inside. I know this part can be like a little tricky, or maybe it just was for me the first like time or two. I flipped multiple layers out like this, where it's not just the 2 inner and outer. There's some like meat in the sandwich, you know what I mean? All right, and then I'm going to push that seam allowance nice and smooth. This is sticking out very garishly, so I'm going to tuck this in. So I'm going to go back over all of this and top stitch it, so it's going to like lay a little bit nicer. And I'm just doing really small stitches and just trying to keep it curving the whole time. It's going okay. Look at this. A project I said was quick is actually going quickly. All right. Wow, channeling my inner Linda. Look at this little eye biscuit. That looks right. That looks right. Okay, there we go. Where to put the elastics, right? So if it comes this way and attaches here, right? There's a way to just pin this to my face temporarily. That'd be great. Maybe if I grab some washi tape. It's hard to see where it is when I have my giant hands on top of it. Okay. It is moments like this where I question why anyone watches what I do here. I feel so fucking glamorous. So now I'm gonna take elastic. How's it gonna have to go to actually stay on my giant fucking melon? Although if I'm swimming, I'm gonna have my hair up and tied back. So like this corner here and then down here. Ugh, and mark where that goes. And then I'm gonna cut it where my hand already is. If I need to tighten it later. I'm sure there's a way to like make this adjustable, but that feels too complicated for where my head's at currently. You right? All right, let's just stitch it together and see what happens. I know aesthetically it'll look better if the elastic's on the underside. All right, fuck it, we're just gonna go for it. I can redo it if I need to. So I'm gonna tack the elastic in those 2 spots and just make sure it's not twisted, because few things drive me nuts more. Oh, there's still tape on my face. This is why I went with washi, because it didn't hurt to peel off. Oh, I'm okay, guys, I promise. Yeah, I don't even remember what I was saying. I'm gonna stitch this in a couple spots and meet you back here when it's done. Oh, and to finish the thought that I started before I saw the tape on my face is that few things drive me nuts more than when there's like a twisted elastic strap somewhere on my body. So I took care to make sure this was on straight. All right, the moment of truth. Oh, that's definitely way too slack. Although, but if it's coming up over my head, right? I introduce some bobby pins though. Hey, little elastic, why don't you be friends with this little metal boy up here? I don't think that's too bad actually. Oh, I was going under my ear. That's right. You know, it feels a little off. That's it. That's the fucking ticket, y'all. Would you want to hang out and go swimming with this? I'm not mad about this at all. But does this make that dilemma better or worse? I don't know. I think I gotta test it out and see how I'm feeling around other people. This feels like a little bit dramatic, and I don't know how I feel about that. Is this something any of y'all deal with? Also, it's funny to me that I've spent a number of projects on other disability-friendly things and have never even thought twice about doing something for my blindness, because it doesn't feel like that big of an issue, because I can still drive and everything, and I can read, because I got one pretty good one, but like, it wasn't until someone was talking about their eye patch on TikTok that I even thought this was an option. I don't know. Is this... Let me know what you think. I trust a lot of your opinions. This feels pretty badass, and especially if I like add some Jolly Rogers to my bathing suit or something. Oh my gosh, and speaking of dressing up, I forgot another time where I'm really self-conscious about my eyes and don't have my glasses on, as if I'm in costume. Maybe I just look for costumes that don't just have glasses, because obviously that's a benefit, you know? But if I dress as someone that has an eye patch, or I can just pretend I've come from battle, and that, because I would feel so confident about posing for photos. A huge thing that I don't like about taking pictures is when my eye is doing something I don't know about. It decided to leave me off the text chain as far as what direction it was going to be facing, and it makes me much more self-conscious and like withdrawn about the rest of what I've put together. Why did it take me until I was 32 to even entertain the idea of doing this? Growth, y'all. It's a confusing road. Anyway, I'm gonna go find situations to get myself into where I can utilize this and just take it for some test runs, and I'm so excited about it. I did spend all morning yesterday. We're just coming off of the 4th of July weekend. I got to put all my Patreon mail time perks together and send those out, and I'm really, really excited about these ones. It's really exciting getting the stuff together to make these parcels. So thank you to everyone over on my Patreon for letting me do stuff like this. It's because of y'all I get to spend time on projects like fucking eye patch for myself. This is the coolest thing ever. Thank you all so much for sticking with me, and I will see you all back here with another video next Friday. Thanks so much for hanging out. The way I was shook to my core when Bo Burnham makes direct eye contact with the camera, like, I don't know what to do with this.